What's up, YouTube? So today is October 13th, 2022. It's been a while since I made a video. Last video I made was Friday. I think that was the 9th, I think. So, not as consistent as I used to be, but I'm trying to get back on it. I've been focused on different things. But I just want to make this video about something very important, which is procrastination. Procrastination is one of the deadliest habits that any person can really have. Procrastination is more dangerous than people may realize, because it's one of those habits where you don't always see the effects that it has on your life until time, years have, months and years has gone by. And so one thing I want to talk about is, you know, every day I try to think about the future, or not the future, not the future. Let me say this. Every day I try to think about. I try to think ahead. That's what I want to say. I try to always think ahead. Not necessarily. I don't want to say the word future, because when people say future, they think 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, which is a good thing. But when I say, I'd rather say every day I try to always think ahead, which means I try to solve problems before it becomes a problem. You know, um, every day I try to make decisions based on what I want my life to look like tomorrow. You know, once again, I love talking about health on my channel, right? So, for example, say I want to eat something. Before I put something in my mouth and I eat, I always like to think about what kind of effect is this going to have on my health. Um, what is this going to do to my blood pressure? What is this going to do to my blood sugar? I drink a lot of water in my videos. I do that, because I want to think about my future, or I'm thinking ahead of what I want to look like tomorrow, I want my life to look like tomorrow. I eat a lot of salmon. I eat a lot of baked chicken, not fried chicken. I exercise. I did exercise this morning. I did exercise yesterday morning. I do take breaks. Some days I don't exercise. You gotta give your body a day or two to rest. Sometimes rest is just as good as exercise. So, or just as important as exercise. So you gotta rest. You gotta have rest days too. Exercising every day is good, but you have to rest. So you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to overwork yourself. So or too much. Overwork yourself too much, too often. But anyway, every day I try to think about, I try to think ahead at all times, and this is a way how I deal with procrastination. See, when I was younger, I used to procrastinate a lot, and procrastination, is when you put things off to a later time, right? You say I'll do it later, or you do things at the last minute. And what I've learned is not only does this cause more stress in your life, but also causes you to miss opportunities. When you don't do things at the time that you should do it, you set yourself up potentially missing an opportunity, because opportunities tend to come in small windows, so you don't have enough time to really decide if you're going to take that opportunity. If you take too long, then eventually it's going to go to somebody else. And so don't procrastinate on anything. Procrastination. People who procrastinate a lot, they have more health problems. They're more likely to, because they put off going to the doctor more. They start having symptoms and stuff, so they put off. They put it off longer. They don't respond. People who procrastinate have worse sleeping habits. because they're more likely to stay up later. They don't go to time. They don't go to bed on time, which is a form of procrastination. I think, to be honestly, I think insomnia is linked to procrastination, in my opinion. I think anxiety and insomnia and even depression and fear is all connected with procrastination. Yeah, so don't procrastinate. It's very dangerous. It's very, very dangerous. 'Cause especially as you get older and you look back and you have this long list of things that you've always wanted to do, but you haven't done it because you keep putting it off to a later time. And and that can make you restless. You know, you give yourself a sense of peace when you have things on that bucket list that you crossed off, and you tend to be more peaceful. I mean, you have your soul is more at peace, or your spirit is more at peace, knowing that you've accomplished things that you wanted to accomplish in life. It doesn't have to be big things. You can start off with the small things, like you always wanted to go skiing. You always wanted to go a certain place, or you always want to eat a certain type of food, or just something that you always wanted to do. You can start off with the smaller, simpler things. Just start crossing them out, and stop procrastinating. Procrastination is very dangerous. It's very dangerous. Look it up yourself. People who procrastinate are more likely to have heart problems because they're under more stress. They probably have higher blood pressure because of it. People procrastinate. Like I said, they put off. They don't go to doctor when they should, at that time that they should go to the doctor. So that puts your health at risk. Financially, you can miss out on opportunities. Don't procrastinate. Start saving money now. Because you're only getting older. Let me roll this window down right quick. Hold on. It's kind of stuffy in here. But yeah, man. Procrastination is really bad for you. Yeah, but that's my piece of advice. My piece of advice for anybody who's a procrastinator. Like, I've tried a lot of different things to beat procrastination, but one thing that I think that probably best worked for me so far is probably just simply thinking ahead. Even this morning I already like I well, last night I should say, I knew it was going to rain this morning, so I did certain things last night or yesterday to prepare for the rain today. Just to make my life a little easier. Stuff like that can take a little stress off you. Just very simple things. Just thinking ahead. Thinking ahead can really save you a lot of headache, because it gives you a chance to foresee problems before they get here. So yeah, you do that with as you make decisions in life. Every time you make a decision, just think ahead a little bit before you make that decision. Just think ahead. Save yourself a lot of problems, a lot of issues. This video is kind of similar to the last video that I just made. They're sort of linked together. They can connect together. But I wanted to make this video because I feel like some people don't realize how dangerous it really is. That doing things at the last minute is a very, very bad habit. In fact, I think it's considered one of the worst habits anybody can have. It's actually worse than drugs. It's worse than bad spending habits. It's worse than eating a lot of bad food. Procrastination can cause a lot of destruction in your life that you may not always be aware of because it doesn't show right away. It's one of those things you don't see it right away. That's the thing about procrastination. You don't see it right away. See, it's kind of like smoking, right? It's like let's compare smoking to putting your hand in fire, right? When you put your hand in fire, you feel the heat. It burns you, right? So immediately you pull your hand back, and immediately you understand not to do something like that. But say you have something like smoking. You don't always see the negative effects that it's having on your body until 10, 15, 20 years later. You understand me? It takes a lot longer. So that's why, in my opinion, the most dangerous habits tend to be things that don't have a immediate effect, or you don't see the immediate consequence of that action. So it's, in a way, it can be more dangerous because you don't know. You feel me? So I hope y'all kind of understand what I said when I said that. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, man.